Hey, Roy, thank you for that great introduction, and I hope everybody had a fantastic trading day today. And if not, I hope I can help you have a better one tomorrow. My name is Darrell Martin. Like I said, I'm a trader and love, love to trade. First thing I always disclaimers, investing, trading involves risk. It's not suitable for everybody. Make sure you know what you're doing before you do it. All right. Uh, so with that being said, and with all the fun risk disclosures up there, give you a chance. You can always go back. We'll have the replay up. But quick intro about myself. Again, like you said, I am a trader. I trade pretty much, if not every single day. Uh, I've taught a lot of traders how to trade not only on futures and forex and stocks and options, which futures and forex and options are sort of like my big thing in trading. Found out about Nadex, the North American Derivative Exchange, a few years back. Dove into it and had so many traders having success and telling them about it, they asked me to do a lot of education for them. And so I do a lot of webinars for the exchange just about every single week. And I started up a website about 5.5 years ago because a bunch of friends kept urging me to share what I was doing because they saw me leave my day job, leave my six-figure job, and go into trading full time. And they started building it, putting it together, and it just sort of grew from there. And now it's actually I think we're like 100 people away from 8,000 members. So it's pretty cool. It just keeps growing. I mean, this is a few months old, so it's growing pretty fast. I have a daily radio show. We broadcast it inside of our website. It's broadcast over on TFNN. It's broadcast inside the eSignal platform. And the Bull Bear Binary Hour as well. I also do a spot with Tommy O'Brien every week on nationwide radio. And that's just been sort of a cool thing. They asked me to come on as a guest, and it just sort of grew from there. I never in a million years thought I'd be teaching people how to trade, much less hosting radio shows. I'm not somebody with a big math degree. I just love trading. I got into it, and I was fortunate enough to get with a lot of the right people to put the pieces together. I am teaching today about what's called the Apex Elite, APs, or Alert, Pivot, Entry, and Confirmation. Exit there. Trading pattern. I also offer free tools on Nadex if you're curious about that. If you want to learn more about how to trade on Nadex and the spreads and the binaries, hundreds of hours of free education and free trading tools, live scanners, all sorts of stuff I can use to help you out. But it all comes down to, even once you figure all that out, you got to know when to get in and when to get out. And the strategies I'm going to teach you today, you can do whether you're a futures trader, a forex trader, a CFD trader, a spread trader, a binary trader, an option trader, a stock trader, a forward trader. I guess we can just keep going, right? The markets, they have fundamental things that make them work certain ways. And a lot of this stuff, I'm sure you've heard pieces of it before, but this is about putting it all together for you and helping you trade in any market condition on any market in the world. And making sure you have a playbook of trades. And whenever you want to, develop a trading system, you got to put together some things. Anytime you want to do anything successfully, it's very intelligent to go find people who have done it well. And as I've sought out professional traders that, some of these guys literally charge me $5,000 a day just to sit next to them, to go into their nice big New York City skyscrapers and sit there and watch how they do things, and go down the floor, watch what they do. And most of it's like sit there, shut up, listen, and then we'll talk maybe at lunch, which you're going to pay for. They're just, but I wanted to get around those people, the ones that knew, that were actually making it happen every day. And some of the biggest lessons I learned from traders that they move the markets, they make the markets, traders that are consistently profitable, is they see the market differently. They are not a consumer, they are a supplier. Think about for a second how often you said, when the market hits support, or when the market hits resistance, or when it hits this fib level, or this Gann or golden ratio, when it gets wherever, then I'm going to buy, then I'm going to sell. Okay? Then I'm going to get in. And how often does it happen? Well, a lot, because obviously you make all those trades. And what you sort of forget is that you're actually really good about identifying to where the market's going to go. You may not be as good about identifying what's going to happen after it gets there. After you get in, then all of a sudden was it going to go long or short. And what professional traders do is they look a step ahead. They go, where are the orders going to be? And they use things like volume, and they use things like price action and expected movements. Those three things specifically: volume, like expected volume, not just regular volume, but expected volume, price action, which I'm going to show you a very simple pattern, and expected movements. And they also look at things that other traders look at. They'll look at the fibs and the support resistance. They'll look at all that fun stuff, but all of it's about where the order's going to go. The market is going to go where the orders are. If you drive an ice cream truck, you drive to where the kids are, right? You don't drive to where people don't eat ice cream. You don't go to the adult community where everybody is on insulin. You go to where the kids are located. You're going to keep driving around as the families move. The market goes to where the orders are. Always, always, always goes to where the orders are. And when it no longer has orders, it's going to rocket one direction or another to where the orders are. And so as you learn, and I teach a lot of additional lessons, these are some systems, but I also teach you how to read the market. It's not just about follow my ABC arrow and you'll be magically rich. I want to teach you not just the what you can trade, not just the when that you can trade, and not just how to execute a trade, but I want to teach you why. Why should you do this? And those are the lessons you're going to learn in the coming months at Apex. We're going to teach you how to read volume, why the market moves this, why it goes there. I mean, it's like pinpoint precision accuracy on where the market's going to move to. And you'll develop that skill set, but you'll also have a system to guide you. So many traders try to figure out the why and trade off their gut versus understanding why and how the market works. Like, why would this actually even work? And then they never get an actual system of how I'm going to take advantage of it, even if they do figure that out. So you need the system solid, and then you need to add in the why, the how the market works. And so, again, they're a supplier. They go, okay, the market's going to go here, so instead of when it gets there, I'm going to buy or sell, I'm going to get in now and get out when it gets there. And then where you're going, well, if it gets back down here, I'm going to take a stop loss. They go, okay, well, all the traders who got in here are going to come back down. They're going to take stops. So I'm going to go ahead and go short. And my reversal traders and my long traders are getting stopped out. They'll have orders there. And so now I'll go short to where the orders are, put the market down. It's how what we call the apex pattern actually works. And it cleans the whole thing up. It filters out the noise. And again, like I said, they have proper expectations of market movement. We all want to buy, but it's so easy to end up buying at the top. You don't want to be buying at the top of the markets when the market has moved a deviation. And I talked to a lot of our traders about this, being careful not to do that, because that's where it's going to get you more than anything, is right near a one deviation move. And those will be some of the biggest mistakes you'll make. I mean, it's just barely above or right at. And what is a deviation? A deviation, there's standard deviation that's historical, and there is implied. I'm going to show you a whole lot more than that, Harry. Implied deviation, which is expected movement, okay? And if you understand proper expectations of the market, then you know when to trail your stops. You know where the market could actually go if it keeps going up. You know where to look for reversals. And so my challenge for you, Harry, is to listen. Listen to some of these little things I'm telling you, because they will help you in your trading, okay? So you want to keep it simple. Trading is not near as easy as we want it to be. I'll give everyone that, but it's not near as hard as people think it is. Meaning it's not simply like, give me a golden little box and tell me what to do, okay? One thing, I'm big about, and I know the other traders at Apex are big about, is don't follow a guru. We don't want you to come here and follow the guru. We want you to become the guru. We want you to actually know how to trade. And so we're going to help you with that. And you'll find out when you get in our rooms that you're not following me. Now, I'm in there, and I'll help answer questions, but every moderator in our room is not being paid. They are traders who came in just like you could potentially come in today if you want to, and try everything out for 30 days and check it out and see if it makes sense for you. They came in, they became traders, it worked for them, and they volunteered to help lead the rooms and take on additional markets that they trade each day. And so they're sitting there making those trades. And I'll show you some of those trades. I'll show you some trades from today that were made in the room. When you develop a system, it needs to be systematic. It needs to have get in here, stop loss here, take profit here, or trail stop here. You have to know all that before you get in. If you don't have that defined up front, you won't be consistent. Because you're like, well, sort of when that line crosses this line, I sort of buy here and I look at it and I sort of do my, you need to know all of that before you ever hit an entry button, okay? Because without that, you have opportunities for doubt. You want opportunities, you don't want doubt. You want to have confidence to execute your trade. And not simply the magical indicator, but why and the what. And we make a lot of that why simple by putting it on the chart for you, but there is a why behind each piece. And a lot of people, it does reverse on them. So CG, says right now, as soon as I enter the market reverses on me. Okay. And to accomplish this goal of limiting losses and letting profits run, you need a price action driven method. It has to be based on price action. That has a volume measurement to it. And then those steps have to account for how the market moves and for the trader psychology aspect. Like, okay, so you have all this stuff. So you can't just have an ABC. You have to have a why the ABC works. And then you have to actually have a reason to implement it. Right? Because if you don't understand the why, if you don't believe in it, you're not going to follow through with your plan. How many of you have learned a trading system before and you watch somebody else place the trades, but it seems whenever you place them, you keep losing because you're not following the rules because of psychology. So you got to get the why. You have to, you may need to demo trade it. Okay. First, I always recommend people come in, learn, demo trade. We want to make money today, but I'd rather have money to be able to make money tomorrow if I'm learning something new. And you need to trade proper account size. Some of you, no problem going out and trading treasuries with $30 tick sizes. Some of you have no business trading oil with $10 tick sizes. Maybe you should be trading mini oil. Maybe you should be trading oil spreads that are only $1 a tick. And you can do that right here in the US. You can do Nadex spreads that are $1 a tick. They move just like the underlying market. And let your account grow. And as it grows, then get into those larger instruments. But you have to have the psychology where you're not risking too much, where you understand the rules, and it's all planned out. And, it's interesting. One of the questions that comes up right here, I talk about volume a lot, and I'm going to try to answer all the questions before it's done. One of the traders says, Zippy says, there is no volume data in Forex, and that's actually completely inaccurate. There is volume data in Forex. Now, if you look at spot Forex, this is a great lesson. We're going to go on a tangent. Spot Forex, volume is inaccurate. It's over the counter. It's by broker at best. And most platforms like MetaTrader 4 and stuff, all it is tick volume, right? It's how many times the bar changed in that bar. But where else can you trade on an exchange and trade Forex? You can trade them on CME with good volume, real volume, not fake volume, but actual contracts traded. And what I do when I trade spot Forex, or maybe I trade a binary or a spread, or maybe I'm trading the futures Forex, is I use the futures Forex volume data and I feed that directly into my spot Forex chart. Okay? And you'll see charts keen. So, like I said, we're going on a tangent. But there is volume in Forex. We use it every single day. And almost every Forex trader I know doesn't use volume, and that's one of the biggest reasons they don't consistently profit. Going into patterns, you're going to have more charts than you can handle. You don't need 20 patterns or 200 patterns on charts. Okay? The market moves to fill orders, and one simple pattern captures this fact time and time again. Okay? So time and time again. One pattern will capture this. So let's talk about that here in just a second. To get that pattern and to make it simple, there's one thing that I want to change for you, is a dynamic on how you may be trading. You may be trading on time-based bars, which there are ways to use them. But if you want to capture the big trends, the big reversals, okay, this is what I'm talking about right here. If you want to swing trade, scalps, yeah, I can do that on different types of bars. I have binaries, I can do on different types of bars. But if I want to capture the big moves, I want to capture the reversals, I want to see the clean trends. Time-based bars don't make any sense. Think about that. I have a new bar, not because of how far the market moved, not because of anything happening, but because the Earth rotated a few degrees. Literally, the Earth rotated a few degrees. That's why you have a new bar on your chart. That makes no sense. They're choppy. They mess up all your indicators that you put on there. Okay? So what can you do? Well, there's a different way to do it, and that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to get into talking about how to limit your losses, how to let your profits run. We're going to talk about elite MVP entries. We're going to talk about MVP reversals. We're going to talk about how to scalp. We're going to talk about how to trade in choppy markets. We're going to put all these pieces together, okay? And It's coming up. There's always somebody. It's like, give me a chart, give me a chart. You need to slow down and learn a few things first, and that will help you be a better trader. Chill, calm down. Trading should not be like, I got to hit a button, I got to hit a button, I got to see a chart. Trading is, what do I need to learn so I can be effective tomorrow so I don't get beaten down? Okay? I don't want you to keep losing. I want you to be profitable, consistently profitable. So you got to slow your heart rate down, because if you're like, if trading is that emotional for you, you're going to lose money, or you've been losing money. Really got to calm down. So let's get you back on track and help you focus on a few things. So, exactly, you are paid to wait. That's awesome, Steve. Remove time from the equation. These are diagnostic bars. They're similar to what you may have seen as like Renko bars. They're not range bars and they're not Renko bars. But what they are is basically because they have wicks and they actually capture volume. We'll see some charts on here with volume. But anyways, as it moves, when it moves a certain set of ticks, such as 14 ticks, it'll make a new bar. Okay? And notice how smooth the trend is. It's very simple, has nothing to do with it. A bar may last a second, like these high velocity bars over here, or it may last, 4 hours. You need to get time out of the way, as that's part of the calming down part too, right? And let the market make a bar whenever the market's moved. Not simply because 5 minutes have passed. And I'm not downing time-based charts. I use them for certain types of trades, but it's very specific for a very specific reason. Okay, but if I want to catch the trends, I don't use time-based charts. And here is how this simple pattern works. A is alert. Okay, pay attention. P, pivot. Market is turning around. E, entry. Okay, so I'm going to do an entry. What I'm going to do is I'm going to enter a few ticks below that E bar. So if there's an E on there, a few ticks below that. I'll put my stop a few ticks, 5 ticks specifically, above the P bar, and my entry 3 ticks below the E bar. As long as that fills within the next couple bars, I'll take the trade. If it doesn't, I won't take the trade. I'm in, I have my stop loss. I will then trail with this little dashed line you see. We call that the MVP, Momentum Volatility Predictor line. And I will trail that down. I mean, that's about a 30-point trade right there. Okay, and I'll show you old charts, I'll show you new charts, I'll show you charts from today. We'll go through a whole bunch of charts. Okay, I can add on every time there's a new apex. Okay, so I can add on to my position, or maybe I came in later. Ever felt like you missed out on the trend? Okay, market's already moved down, 20 points. What can I do? Well, I could add on to a trade. I could add on to another trade. I can add on the next day. Maybe I come in over here. I can add on more. You can take that trade on. And we teach you a couple things, like make sure that the MVP line, the trend line, is matching up with the apex pattern so you don't get caught while it's flipping. Okay, but this is the market makers pushing it down. You got short, and then all of a sudden it goes right up and stops you out. They know where the orders are. They're going to go up and grab some more of those, and then they're going to push it on down again. And they literally move it in these ways, the simple way, one pattern. I mean, you could find every pattern you want, and we've got 10 of these by the time that one pattern is formed. Okay? So let's go into some more of these trades. I mean, here's Russell. This is actually, I think, the following day. What do we got? The 7-4, 7-7, 7-8. Notice, by the way, 7-4. I mean, that's obviously a Sunday, but look how small it is. I mean, not only is it, I mean, it's still not as small as you'd think. It should be like half of another day, right? There was no activity on Sunday. Wasn't moving. There wasn't a trend. It's amazing that people go and they're like, I want to trade from 6 to 7, and I want to trade trends. I'm like, well, there are ways to trade from 6 to 7, though. That's really hard. If you want to trade from like 7 to about midnight, we can figure that out. But you're not going to get a whole lot of big trends at that time of night. You can definitely do a lot of trades at that time of night. But you got to match the right strategy. So you want to trade when the volume's there. On this chart, so we got the APEX. What are some other things that we have going on in the chart? Because it looks really busy. When you first see this thing, you're like, oh my gosh, there's so much on here. Okay. First, I want you to just look at that APEX, see that really clear. Okay. I'm shorting into the downtrend, Bill. Always shorting into the downtrend. Yeah, shorting, shorting, shorting. Never buying. So what I'm saying is market makers, movers, not makers, but movers will push the market up, take some profits is what they're doing. They'll hit a bunch of stops at people because they're trailing them down, and then they'll push it right on back down. So we got alert, pivot, entry, and then take profit. Okay, it could be take profit if it's what's called a profit popper, but right here, this is just a trend strategy. So the trending, the Apex Elite strategy, which is for the big trends, alert, pivot, E-bar, enter 3 ticks below, set a stop 5 ticks above the P, trail with the red line, so long as the red line and the Apex colors line up. Very, very simple, okay? Now, what else do we have? Well, we have all these lines on the chart that are in the way. Well, these are what's called deviation levels. And I actually pull the implied volatility out of the underlying market's options, which lets me know the expected movement on a market any day. Instead of knowing what the market did do yesterday and using things like standard deviations and Bollinger Bands and crap like that that really doesn't work, I use what the market says, because people put their money where their mouth is in the premium of those options. And I let the market tell me how far the market's going to move. And you'll see time and time again, we're right at 1, maybe 1.5. That's a big stretch on a day, but it ended right at that 1 deviation level. It's also a black line down here. Okay, these auto plot on your chart. And we have them for every instrument. We got 2 different types of deviation levels, and one of the 2 will work on any instrument. And what this is measuring is the actual level based on yesterday's settlement and what a deviation is from settlement. This is measuring from high to low. So let's say it went up like 0.5 and down negative 0.5. That's a 1 deviation move. And what I tell people is get cautious, get very cautious on a trend move when you're approaching a 1 deviation level. Because we don't expect, basically 30% of the time, we do not expect the market to keep going. Okay? So you're really playing a low probability trade. This is a great trade. These trades right here, there's not a lot of money to be made. I would not take additional trades past a 1 deviation level. There's a number 1 on the chart. You can't really miss it, okay? There's a black line right here. An alert fires off that says 1 deviation level, TF. So, I mean, we've got it all over the place for you, but it's when to stop adding into a trade. Okay? Well, this is a live chart. These are real charts, okay? I'll bring up a chart from today. I'll bring up charts from all over the place. I just said what a deviation is, so you got to pay attention. A deviation is a expected move. Have you ever heard of a bell curve? You know, the bell curve, like are you in like the percentile, the average percentile? Okay. Okay, this is a deviation on a movement for a day for a stock. Like what is the average move, the expected move, not the past move. There's standard deviation, which doesn't work. Bernanke announced that a long time ago that it got broke. But expected move, what is the average expected move for today based upon what the market says in the option pricing market? So we actually do all the hard, there's a lot of math that goes on behind the scenes. We just throw the level up there for you. And I guarantee you, there's one thing, like they are insane accurate, okay? So I don't mind shorting here, I don't mind shorting here, but right here we're at a deviation level now. I don't think the market's gonna keep trending. I may scalp this. We got profit poppers, we got momentum scalpers, we got a lot of other trades we'll teach you. But I don't want to go for a big trend trade because look, I mean, if I get in, I go short 3 ticks, my stop's up here, comes over here, I basically break even or maybe lose a few ticks because I'm at the 1 deviation move. Okay? Now we have what's called an MVP reversal, which is where we can go the other way, but we'll talk about that in a second. But 1 deviation move is the expected move. Do you have a proper expectation on how far the market is going to move today? Okay? Do you have that proper expectation? If you don't, then when do you stop adding in? Why do you end up, what happens is you stop, you add into a position and you're at the bottom of the market and the market goes right against you every time. And I've been there. And I learned this from a floor trader. One of my mentors is a floor trader. He taught me how to understand correct expected movements. Well, along with expected movements, we'll just keep going on to other charts because we have this on every chart. We also have what's called expected volume. So we actually chart this automatically for you, okay? And it's looking at the expected volume, which is the yellow line. When it exceeds it, it'll tell you. This lets us know, is it a higher volume or a low volume day? For that specific hour of the day, is it a high volume or a low volume day? Okay? Obviously, the market is going to move bigger when there is a lot of volume. So I can expect big, large moves when we're exceeding volume all day long. Okay? We do this on oil, we do it on FX, we do it on futures, we do it on stocks, we do it on indices. I mean, you name it, we chart it out. And we map out the expected volume. And these days are huge expected volume days. Obviously, they're flying down. This is obviously a news report. Look at how all the timestamps are 1050, 1050, 1050, 1050. Okay, so all that happened like in the same second. That was obviously right off the 1030 there, came out, inventory report, boom, flew down. But we got in before the speed got up. See, we got in right before, and then trailed the stop down. The other thing you'll see on the chart, which is really cool. Oh, here's Aussie yen, for FX. Aussie dollar, US yen. Here's a US yen chart from today. We got the FX. We're actually pulling 6J for the volume on the US yen. For your dollar, pulling 6E. We're combining 6J and 6E for your yen. So we are using futures forex on that. So a great question comes up. Why is expected volume set to 4 minutes? What we're actually doing is we're taking the last 4 minutes, because remember, these bars can last 4 seconds or they can last 4 hours. And I want to know, like, when new price action is made, when a new bar is made, the most recent action, so it's a rolling 4 minute period. It's not just the last 4 minutes, it's a rolling 4 minute period constantly. Every minute, every second it's updating. And looking at the last 4 minutes, when that bar ends, that's what it plots on there, and you're watching it as it goes. You're basically seeing the most recent volume activity at price action when a bar is broken. Okay? On an apex trade, how do you know when to enter? If you got a green line and you got a green E, you buy 3 ticks above the E. If you got a red line and you got a red E, you sell 3 ticks below the E. That's it. Like literally, that's APE, buy 3 ticks above the E, set a stop 5 ticks below the P, trail the green line. Okay? Here's Apple. You got 3 ticks below the E, 5 ticks above the P, trail on down. It's, got Facebook. Got just different formats from different traders. And I mean, just adding on. Here's oil. Here's, a little more current chart for you. So, what's the date on this one? I can't even tell. What, 8/15? So, yeah, it's from a few days ago. We have some on here for today. But just going in and basically adding in. So it flips around, APEX, buy 3 ticks below the E, set a stop 5 ticks below the P, trail with the green line. So really simple. One of the questions that comes up all the time is, okay, so what is this green and red box? What's going on with those? Why do you have those? What do they mean? Here's the S&P with more entries, recent days here. And, what is this about? We got gold going, there's so many of them. These are what's called expected moves by the hour. We can do this by 10 minutes, 30 minutes, hour, 4 hour, 12 hour, day, week, whatever. But we can chart the expected move for any time frame on any instrument. And what we normally do is I put it on there by hour. It puts things in perspective for me, especially without having any time on the bars, because the bars, like I said, may last a minute or they may last 4 hours. So I can know that's 1 hour of time, but also I can know what's the expected move. So we expect it to move from the open to the high or the open to the low. Okay, so open to the high would be this green at the top. Open to the low would be right here, the top of the hour. So from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m., we'd expect it to go from here to here or from here to here. Or if it goes down, say like 10, let's say the expectation was 20 points and then move down 5 points, we expect to go down 5 and up 20 from the low. So from low to high. And that's what this measures. This measures, from the low, how far is it retraced? So it went down, and then it retraced from the low. And so we got about 75, a little over 75%, that's what that black line is, of the expected move in that hour. But you'll see over and over again, rarely, unless there's a lot of volume. Notice how there's not a lot of volume on NASDAQ today. Rarely, unless there's a lot of volume, on this chart anyway, do we see the market just break out of an expected move in that current hour. So right here, I mean, we're busting through volume on gold. And notice how it breaks out of the expected move. So right here, we're busting through on gold. It's breaking way down. Okay, but then volume starts to chill a little bit, getting back closer to the expectations. It gets back into line. So it lets you know, should I expect this thing to break out, or am I probably about what I'm going to get out of the hour? Well, if I'm at the top of the hour and I get there, might be a good time to take some profits. Okay, but I come back down, I'll get back in on the next oscillation. We go on into the MVP entries. You got the NASDAQ. Here's a back test. If you want to see some, our traders will go in and new traders will come on. They're like, I'm going to test this out, see if this really works. And he did MVP entries. Did add-ons. That's basically when there's another apex, just adding on to each apex. And they did the reversals. And I'll show you the reversals here in a second. Did it 6 months. Somebody else did this. I didn't do this. This is another trader going through. We have all these posts in the forums everywhere. And over 6 months on a single contract, he made 18,000. The largest profitable day was $5 grand. The largest loss on a day. That's taking every trade with no filters. Okay, 2,000, and the average profit was 2,300. The average loss was 560. So that just gives you some stats to show. I mean, that obviously, that's not bad for a single contract trading during the day on the Russell from 8:30 to 3:30. So not a bad not bad results. But just to give you some sort of stats there. Reversal trades. These are really cool. A lot of you out there are contrarian traders. And contrarian traders are going to go in, and you got Apex, so APEX, APEX. If there's two apexes in a row, so two red apexes, and they made a lower low. So see, there's an APEX and then APEX. It made a lower high than the previous apex, and then you get a MVP reversal. The trend line changes. We take that trade long. Okay. So the purpose of the presentation here is to show you that there are 5 different ways to trade the markets, and the first one was to understand how to actually capture a trend. So if you understand the letters A, P, E, and X, you know the letter green or red, or the color green or red, and you can match up the line, you know how to enter the trade. And so I just want to show you, is this worth your time of you learning how to do? One trader asked, can you do this during the live market hours? Yeah, we do it every day in our trade room, and you're going to be able to check that out, okay? Because, I mean, these bars may last 5 minutes or, an hour or 2 hours, so we're not sure how long they're going to last. MVP reversal, you got apex, a green apex, another green apex, the P is higher than the previous P, and then we get a reversal arrow. That's a reversal trade. Here's just one example. I mean, we have tons of examples, current, old, whatever. I always try to add a couple things, and so we have some current slides in here too. But this is one day where, okay, we had apexes going short. This is just looking at the MVP reversals. So if you can see 2 red apexes, the P had a lower high. You got a green arrow, you bought. Okay, so we bought on the next bar right there, right when it broke out, we bought. We trailed our stop with the green line. Okay, we had 2 green apexes, got stopped out of that one, nice profit. And the P's had a higher low on the long P's, 2 green apexes, higher P bar. And we got a red arrow, and we went short. So we basically had all 3 of these trades combined. And I lay it all out on you step by step, but the bottom line, or these 2 trades on this MVP reversal day, was what, 12.10 and then 25.60 if you had all 3 trades together from the day. Obviously, there's a lot of information on here, and this looks really complex. That's what one trader says. Okay, tell me if this is complex. Can you read APEX, APX, and both are green? Can you see that? And I'm not even being a smartass. I'm just literally saying, can you see that both are green apexes? Do you see the 2 green apexes on the chart at the top, the 2 highest ones right here? So APEX, APX. Do you see that this P made a higher low than that P? And then, okay, so that is what's required right there. And the green line is green the entire time. And now we have a red arrow. See the red arrow? Okay? When you got 2 apexes, same color, the line's the same color, and the P has a higher high, then you get a red arrow, you go short. That's the entire trade. Okay? So literally, that is the MVP reversal. 2 apex, if you can see apex, apex, higher P, green line, red arrow, go short. Like, that's it. And there's even an announcement that says MVP reversal. It'll announce it to you. You just look at it and make sure that you have the 2 apexes before it. Okay? Like, that's all there is to an MVP reversal. So the first trade we had was an apex entry, APEX. You can see APE, green lines, green color, green letters, buy 3 ticks above the E, set a stop 5 ticks below the P, trail the stop. I don't know how much easier it gets than buy 3 ticks above the bar with the letter on it that's an E, set a stop 5 ticks below the letter of the bar with a P, and then trail your stop with the green line. I mean, I don't know how much easier I can make it for you. So that's an apex entry, that's an MVP reversal. There's a lot of stuff on this chart. Yes, it looks really advanced because I'm writing a whole bunch of notes out to answer 1,000 questions that traders had on that day, okay? But I basically, what does it say? 2 plus apexes in the same row, same color. If short red P's have higher highs, if long green P's have lower lows, ideally the MVP line is the same color. In other words, if the letters are red or the letters are green, Then you get an opposing MVP arrow, so red and then green, or green and then red arrow. Then take the trade, enter 3 ticks above the high, or above, below the low of the bar with the arrow on it, and trail your stop with the dashed line. That's it. Yeah, I know it's really small to see. I mean, the great thing is you can blow this thing up like crazy on our website, and you can look at it in detail. Okay. And you know, if this is, it's one of those things like, what is your goal? Is your goal to be profitable in trading? Because if it is it worth your time to figure something out? And if you stop and think, the guy just said that there's letters, if I can read letters and add ticks or subtract ticks, this can't be as hard as I think it is. Remember I said trading is easier than we think it is, but it's not as easy as we want it to be? That's what I'm talking about, okay? Here's elite MVP entries right here. Entering on the E, there's an MVP reversal trade. So that trade right there making $530, okay? That trade making $300. This trade's making $80. We go, here's a trade from today. This is this morning. This is an MVP reversal right there. Marilyn, trader of ours, so she came in, she leads the oil in the room. She made $480 on this one move. Just hopped in, moved up, and she grabbed the profit, took it, called it a day. That's $480 in one simple trade on an oil contract. Okay. Let's see here. Question comes up. What triggers the red-green arrows, and does tick data feed affect the apex to plot? What triggers the red? I could spend like an hour talking to you about that, Walter, and I will spend all the time you want understanding it, but we have trainings that will lay it out in detail. I can't obviously explain everything about this in 1 hour. All I'm trying to do is help you understand, is this worth you learning more about? Do you see potential value that this might actually help you in trading? So MVP is a momentum volatility predictor reversal. The bottom line is it's a reversal trade. It's a trade going the opposite direction, catching the reversal in the market, such as oil was falling down. We got a green arrow to buy, we went up. And I explained it to you in massive detail, but just one of these trades could be an hour, okay? Anybody like to scalp? Are there any scalp traders? So scalping is pretty easy to do if you have the right setup. What we do is, this is it. Okay, so what are the steps? We got expected volume, okay, and we got actual volume, blue. If the actual volume is greater than the expected volume, we have a momentum scalp trade that we can do. So as soon as that exceeds, and there's an alert that'll say expected volume exceeded on ES, okay, it'll actually tell you that. We go in the direction of the bar's close. So this bar was a, therefore we would take a short trade, okay? So volume exceeds expectations, down close, we're gonna go short, when? 3 ticks below the low. Like, see that consistent rule, that 3 ticks rule? 3 ticks below the low. We're gonna set our stop 1 tick above the high. We're gonna take profit right here. We actually teach you, I was going over this morning in one of our webinars, I was going over the ATM strategy in Ninja. You can set it up and it makes it really easy. Just hit a button and it does it all for you. I taught you how to do that, but basically 3 ticks below the low, 1 tick above the high. So we're gonna go short here, we have a stop loss there. We're in, it moves down, boom, we're out. Simple trade, do it over and over again. Next one, do it again. Do it again, again, again. I mean, it's just literally over and over. Every time you see expected volume, see a bar close down. When do we stop taking them? Whenever we get to, what, a deviation move. When we get to that expected movement on the day, when we're within 3 bars of that, we stop. So at this point, I'm within 3 bars, I'm not gonna add any more on because I expect the market to stop and reverse. Okay, and it did. And we saved ourselves a lot of money by chilling out and waiting a second. Then we got a few more long trades. Here's oil, same thing. I mean, you can do this on Forex, you can do it on oil, you can do it on stocks, you can do it on futures. I mean, maybe you don't want to wait there all day for the A, the P, the E, the X to form. Maybe you don't want to, you don't have the patience, you don't want to wait for momentum scalps. Not momentum scalps, but MVP reversals. You don't wait for it to go up, then get the arrow, and then go short. Maybe you don't like the bigger stops on there. You just want to get in, you want to trade for 30 minutes or an hour, and you want to be done. That's what momentum scalps are about. You go in here, every one of these trades, you're bringing in $90. So basically, I mean, right, there's probably 80 trades. I'll say at least 50 trades on this chart, okay? And maybe half a dozen losses. So, you know, you can do the math, but it adds up pretty quick. Another oil chart. So we're not exceeding. Okay, we're going boom, short, short, short. We're just literally every bar here, sell, 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 right? it's the deviation, I'm going to back off. I know I miss out on some trades that way, but I'm going to back off. It bust through it. Don't worry about it. I'll be happy with making, these are, about 500 bucks. The S&P, so you can scalp that as well. Same way. Russell, tons of scalps on Russell. Oh my gosh, Russell's awesome for scalping. It's one of my favorite things to scalp. Here's gold from today. We were going over this today. Actually, this is live on the radio. We're going over it on the radio show today, and it's going short. So every time, and we had 18 trades. We had 2 trades that lost, and so netted, or 18 wins and 2 losses, or whatever. Anyway, so lost 28 ticks, made 126, net ticks 98, $10 a tick, $980 after fees, about 900 bucks in profit. That's just trading one instrument, just doing scalp trades, very short, quick trades. And if we go down here, deviation levels. What is a deviation level? We talked about that. So how far is the market going to move? Should I take an entry when the market is most likely at its maximum move on a day? Exactly, Dave. Perfectly. It's in one day. So in one day, how far is the market expected to move? Now we also have the hourlies. Those are the channel boxes you saw. Okay. But in one day, how far is it going to move? So I'm just going to be careful when I get close to that area that I don't keep adding on to longs. I'm going to tighten up my stops. If I get down to a -1 deviation, I don't want to add on to shorts. I want to tighten up my stops there. Okay. Question comes up, are they like Bollinger Bands? No, Bollinger Bands are standard deviation. They are historical information. They're not based on actual trades. Okay. Every day, Stu. How often do you get those kind of results on gold? We can bring it up just about every single day. You can go through. Okay, I mean, gold moves a lot, right? Gold has a lot of volume, right? So go in there and just, you'll see. There's no reason for me to waste my time on here and tell you something that's hogwash. I mean, either it works or it doesn't, and you're gonna find out really quick. Okay. Profit poppers, choppy days. You don't always have big trending days. Okay. Profit poppers are scalps. Now you can do this on futures, forex. We have a lot of traders that love to do these on binaries. And basically on a profit popper, what you're doing is you're going in, you get an apex, and it has to have some size in it if you're gonna do it on a future, forex, CFD, stock, whatever. And basically you get in on the E bar. Instead of 3 ticks below the E, you get in like on the E bar. Okay. And we did another video on that this morning for some traders that are really starting to like this. And you get in there and you take your profit right before the A. It's a little bigger than a momentum scalp. You don't have to wait all day for the market to move. So it's a nice, simple, quick trade, a little more size than a momentum scalp, but you do have to have a decent apex. Like these are so small that you can't really do them unless you're doing binaries. But for the bigger ones, like you could definitely do futures on these. You go in, you grab 3 points on gold, that's 300 bucks. Awesome. Next trade. Russell, you go in here. Here's a good one right here. We go in, we got this E. The MVP line does not have to line up if you're just going to scalp out, meaning I got an alert, a pivot, entry bar, okay? So like right above that P, it's actually 2 ticks above the P. We hop in on the trade, and we take profit 1 tick before the A. So we go in, take profit, done. And a lot of times these are traders like the market's not doing anything, it's boring as all get out, there's no trend happening. Volume's not really exceeding expectations that much overall. Notice how it's sort of right at or below expectations. We don't expect just a massive run on the day. It's an average, 10-point day. How can I take advantage of a choppy market? Well, choppy market would have a green apex and a red line and have average volume. So you'll see a lot of those when you have choppy markets, and we're getting a lot of those throughout this day. That's a great time to go in and just grab a couple simple, decent-sized scalp trades. So notice I'm teaching you like momentum scalping with high volume. I'm teaching you trend trades. I'm teaching you reversal trades, and I'm teaching you how to trade in choppy markets. You got to have multiple plays. You don't want to go out there and be a golfer with 1 club. You don't want to be a quarterback with all you know how to do are Hail Marys. Okay, that's the guys that I only trade 4 to 1. Yeah, right. Okay, and let me see your account. So I'm talking about the reality. Okay, you got to have your short plays, your medium plays, your long plays. Okay. Spike tracker. So some of you, want some other trades, want some time-based trades. That's what you like doing. We teach you how to read volume spikes. We go in, and whenever there's a spike, this says go long. That says go short. Okay, another spike, short right into the hour. Volume spike, we literally go short. When you see a spike, you go the opposite direction. If it's above it, you go short. If it's below it, you go long. And I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it, but we have traders that literally just do this trade. They do it on binary trades on Nadex, and that's all they do. And they love it. Like day in, day out, again and again and again. We talked about the deviation levels. I'm not going to go, this is a list of them, but we also auto plot them on the chart for you. So, and they list them on the website, so you can check them out. And, jump at this light deviation move. That's also what you'd see like settlement and out one deviation move. Okay. And day after day, you'll see that the market's hit like a deviation. I only have an hour. I don't have time to go through everything with you. I wish I did. This would be a seminar. But the summary of everything is I want to teach you how to remove time from the equation. I want to teach you how to simplify instead of having. I know we had 50 indicators. All that stuff was like measurement of volume and expected moves. Okay, in a simple pattern, and it'll become really clear. It's not like one of those things you got to figure out where the 14 lines cross to get the magical thing. Okay, and how did he see that? Everybody in our room can see the exact same thing without any question. Okay, you will know it backwards and forwards. I guarantee you it's simple. Okay, one simple pattern. Filter your entries, set your stop losses. Okay, the best way, of course, to not lose money is to not take a trade that's a bad trade. That's why we have the filters built in for you automatically. Trail your stops to let your profits run. Automatically meaning like the MVP is plotted on the chart. But trail your stops. I mean, don't just always, but there's also times to make some nice big trades. And when the market's, I want to do big trades, but also when the market's not doing anything, it's amazing. Like, man, I didn't get a trade all day. And I'm like, there's 24 scalps on your chart. There are trades there always. Learn how to use the expected volume and ranges. You're talking, a few hours to master all this, and it works on any market. So you want to have good risk management. You want to have the right kind of account size. I can't stress that enough. I don't care if you're trading with us or someone else. Okay. I trade on NinjaTrader. Yep, I don't do it on TradeStation. Get better margins, get better commissions, and we can do a lot more functionally. And you can get it free. And you get the data free, so which is great for new traders coming on as well. We actually already tell you what the tick sizes are for the instruments, and I teach you how to even know what the best tick size is. There's a training just on if you want to go out and pick a random instrument and you want to know how to come up with that tick size. I actually have a 30-minute video that teaches you exactly how to know the tick size for each instrument. But you want to, you can pick your own broker. I don't care where you trade. We have people that trade overseas. We have people that trade bucket shops, which I don't agree with, but they do. We have people that trade, obviously, here, AMP, NinjaTrader brokerage. We have people that actually don't even trade through a broker through Ninja. They trade on TradeStation, but they use this as their app, okay, as their platform just to get the trades. And they place them on Thinkorswim or wherever. So you can trade wherever you want to. You just need to chart it. The charting is free. I can show you how to get the live data for free, okay? And if you want to trade, we have traders that trade with $500 accounts. Actually, the first course is how to get free charts and free live data on futures and forex. But we have people that trade with $500 accounts. We have people that trade with $500,000 accounts. You need to trade with an appropriate, account size, and don't be trading oil with $1,000 bucks. That's not intelligent. There's $10 a tick. But you could do, a little larger account. You go to mini oil, $1,000 bucks in your account. Nadex spreads $1 a tick. We teach you how to do that. Okay. No, we do not automate strategies. Robots are not real. That's about the best way I can put it for you. Okay. I do teach you how to do it, but you are going to have to do it. The surgeon is going to have to perform the surgery, not the robot. The pilot may have some autopilot to help him out, but at the end of the day, he's still got to fly the plane. All right. The golfer's still got to swing the club. The trader's still got to place the trade. All the traders I know that really make money place their own trades. Everything else is just to help you figure it out. All right. Let's see here. What do we got? Yeah, and land the plane. One of our big sayings is become the guru, don't try to follow the guru. I'm real big on that. One thing, you feel like this is complex. This is not going to be you sitting in a room being spoon-fed by some guy who thinks he's super smart, and you're not going to know anything later. This is you learning, like really learning how to read the market, really learning how to trade. Just ask the other traders in our room, you'll find out, okay? We're going to teach you how to become, you don't need our trade room. Our trade room is there as a coaching tool. We have other traders helping post trades in there. It's not some big, we're going to be talking for 8 hours. And what do we have to talk about? Everybody's following the same rules. There's nothing to say, okay? They'll post some trades. They'll answer your questions. But it's not some big talk room, okay? I mean, if you want to listen to something, watch Netflix while you're waiting on the trade to come up. There's nothing to talk about. You know exactly what we're doing, and you can ask all the questions you want. Exactly. Learn how to fish, okay? We're not giving you fish. You're not paying a subscription fee for it to give you fish, okay? We're going to teach you how to fish. And a majority of our traders actually aren't in the room. So we have 8,000 members. We have probably maybe anywhere between 50 and 100 people in there on a daily basis. Because once you learn it, you got it, okay? And you call it an algorithm, but it's just it's a consistent trading plan. Buy here, sell here, take profit here, trail stop. And then pay attention to things like volume and expected moves. Professionals spend years and years and years trying to learn something. If you don't want to learn anything, then I'm not going to tell you don't sign up. I'm going to tell you, like, close your trading account and walk away, because all you're going to do is pay the market to learn that you shouldn't be trading. You need to spend some time training. Okay, I'm not saying you need to spend 5 years. I'm not saying just 1 year, even 3 months. Okay, 4 to 5 hours to learn a system you can invest with the rest of your life. One of our trading room leaders is Yogi. He was a floor trader. Okay, and the guy had to go through 2 brain surgeries to learn how, and he had to learn how to talk again. And he is now a trader. Talks great, and obviously, and he comes in and he is a great trader. And he says Apex is what transferred me from the floors to the screens. You know. And he's like, if somebody's not learning in 4 or 5 hours, they don't deserve to learn how to make money. So if you don't want to learn how to do something, then, you know, go run a cash register somewhere. But if you want to learn how to trade, then be willing to spend 4 or 5 hours of training. Hop over, we'll help you out. Okay? You can be ready, and you can be trading the system by Monday. Oh, hey there, man. How's it going? I didn't know you were on here. So we have an offer for you. What is this going to cost me? What is it going to cost me to get started? How am I going to do this? Okay? We're going to give you access to the Elite Toolkit, which is all the indicators that plug in, and we'll teach you how to set up the platform and all that. Trading resources, the Elite Trade Room, which again is just trader-led. Don't come in there thinking that you're going to get 4-hour talks the entire time. Everybody's doing the same thing. Watch the videos, ask questions, post all the charts you want. We'll answer questions for you. Okay? We also give you access, if you want to learn about binaries and spreads, we give you access to our live binary and spread scanner. We give you access to our trading forum, our help desk, hundreds of hours of educational videos. We have webinars every week. And we have another trading room that you actually get access to as well, called the Nadex Trading Pit. And that's where traders are trading like literally around the clock in there, doing trades. And what is it going to cost? Well, usually the membership is $200 a month, $2,400 a year. What we're doing on the webinar is it's $1,350 for an annual membership. There are people in this room I can say that haven't even got that deal. So they're like, what? I want that. So $1,350. I showed you days we're making like $800, $900, $2,400. Okay, I'm not saying you're gonna make that every day. I'm gonna say it's not that hard if you're actually going to trade live to make that back. I can't guarantee anything, but what I can say is, hey, $1,350 for a year. That's $4.68 a day to learn this, and I promise you, I'm not even touching the iceberg on what we're gonna teach you. Okay. And, you know, there's always going to be a doubter. There's always going to be somebody who comes into the room and is like, oh, you know, this is crap, and da-da-da-da-da, and I've been trading for a decade, and I spent money on those who claim to have great records, but they don't do anything, and da-da-da-da-da. You know what? Then leave. Because you're on the webinar for a reason to learn something. Otherwise, why are you here? Obviously, it's not working for you. I mean, I'm just being honest with you, okay? Come into our room. Our traders are posting. Our traders are making money. Yeah, they are or they aren't. You come in, you see for yourself. You follow it, you can see it for yourself. Okay? You can try it for 30 days before you pay for the full membership. We're going to charge you $7 to find out. So Dan, if you want to find out if this is real or not, it's going to cost you $7. If you want $7 back at the end of the 30 days, then ask for it back. I'll give it back to you. If you don't cancel by the end, then yes, you are going to go ahead and be billed for the annual membership. You also could choose to go monthly. So if you want to do the monthly membership and you're like, you know what, I love the $1,350, I just don't have it right now, I want that deal, then you can do the $200 a month. That's fine. We're still going to give you, let you get the full 30 days, $7. Yeah, Michael. Thank you, Michael. So he is in our room every day. He'll be glad to show you how it's done. And I mean, I see it happen every day. So I mean, I understand doubting because I've spent probably well over 200 grand on crap education. I'm right there with you. I'm just saying this is what I see every day. ApexInvesting.com/TradingPub is where you go to get this deal right now. Okay. And if you already had a trial in the past, you can still get the 1350 offer. Obviously, you don't get the trial period because you've already had a trial, but you can. We're actually opening that back up. It's live for you right now. Just sign in, and then just use the normal sign up link. If you want to upgrade, if you're on the monthly plan, you want to upgrade to the annual. So I know we got a few traders here. They want to maybe upgrade to that. You can do that. Just submit a link when you log in. Okay. Or maybe if you sign up for the annual and you change your mind, you want to go down to the monthly. Just let us know, and we can help you change your plan over. Try it for 30 days. Come in, see if it's real. Watch the 3 or 4 hours of video this weekend and start on Monday and find out. Okay, $7. That's 2 payroll cycles to give you plenty of time to come up with any payment. At most $200. If you can't make $200 by the end of the month, obviously you shouldn't be paying for it. Okay, you got to trade live though. You're gonna have to get there at least in the last week or two. You're gonna have to trade, some real money to pay for it. But 4-week plan. Come in and learn the demo the first 2 weeks. So like week 1, learn and demo trade. I only say that because, I mean, you want to make your mistakes where it's free, okay? Trade live the last 2 weeks and pay for your membership before it comes due. That is our simple 4-week plan for you, okay? Again, I'll give you the $7 back if you think it wasn't worth your time, okay? But sign up now, check that out. And then when you get inside the website, you're going to see the elite menu at the top. And that is, there's a lot of stuff on our website. There are hundreds of hours on a lot of different things. You're going to want to live right here in the elite menu. Step 1, step 2, step 3, step-by-step courses, setting everything up, getting it going. Some of you are going to say not required, like you don't need to learn them to get going today, okay? So the entire course laid out for you. We got courses, we got quizzes, step-by-step, every piece in here. Can I be traded by tomorrow? Elite MVP rules, MVP reversal trades, momentum scalp trades, profit popper trades, BMX, the stuff we didn't even go over today is inside these courses. And we have more courses after this, and you get all that free. There's no upsell. Okay, hear me, there's no upsell. Everything is included on here for all the toolkit indicators and trade rooms, okay? Now, and we are going to be giving away, again, that free membership here in a minute. So next step, you're going to go in, you're going to do the quick start right there, okay? So let me open that up again for you. There's a quick start to Elite MVP. So that's where you're going to want to focus to begin with, and then you can go down the order right here. But we basically put this entire system in place to make it as fast as possible for you. And just go through and watch these videos. And then hop in and go through the courses. Get in the room immediately. Don't wait till you got it down. Don't wait to ask questions. Ask questions, okay? And share charts. We encourage newbies, everybody, share charts, post trades. Do I have this right? We don't know what you don't know until we see what you don't know, and you don't know what you don't know until somebody who does know sees what you don't know. So share your charts. After you do the trial, after you do the courses, after you're making some money, okay, then worry about the other stuff. There's a lot of other great stuff on. I mean, there's a lot, and it's so easy to get lost in the site. I want you to focus and make this work for you. So focus on MVP. We have support staff online. They'll help you get everything installed, help you get things going. There's a live chat at the bottom right of the screen. When you go there, if you have any questions, they'll be glad to help you out. We have support staff on the weekend to help you out. Just ask for that. There's a help desk at the top. You just go to questions and you go to help desk, submit a ticket. And if you want to schedule a time to get some help, we can help you with that too. Okay. We do have a drawing that we did, and that was randomly pulled already, and I got the name just given to me. This person is going to get 12 months of free access to Apex Elite MVP, everything we talked about today. Byron T. So Byron T, are you present? You are present. Congratulations. Yep, we can even help you with enabling cookies. Congratulations, Byron. You have won 12 months of access to the Apex Elite MVP system. Hop on over to Apex's website, open a free live account, go to that questions tab, and submit a help desk ticket, okay? And so right there, and we will activate your free membership for you. And we'll get you going, okay? If you can't figure it out, just hop to the live chat and we'll help you out, okay? But congratulations, Byron. I don't know what else I can tell you besides just, get it going as quickly as you can. So yeah, if you're having any issue, George, do you see the chat link over here on the right side of the page where it says online? Click here to chat. Okay, click that right there, and then somebody will help you right now. Okay? You bet. Can spread betting be used on this? Yes, I'd actually recommend you use CFDs or spread betting, but if you're going to use one of those instruments, but yes, it can be. Just because of the way the markets are plotted. But we do have traders that use them that are obviously outside the US. Way to go, Byron. Okay, I'm going to go through. I'm going to try to catch up on any questions I can because, I mean, we had an hour, and we're about to wrap up anyway, but just to see. Johnny, is Nadex pretty sound? Will they be around for a while? Yes, they're very sound. They're going to be around for a long time. They're owned by $1 billion publicly traded company. They're not going anywhere. So they're getting bigger and bigger. They're adding more and more contracts. They grew 400% last quarter over the previous quarter. Yeah, they're exploding. They're doing it right. So they're putting the contracts together in a way that's actually beneficial to the trader. The trade room, the Nadex trading pit's open around the clock. We have traders in there. I'll see them at 3 a.m. at 8 p.m. The elite trade room, you get access to both. And the Nadex trading pit is just a pure chat room. There's no charts, but you can share charts. Like you can post charts in there. The elite trade room, it's pretty much mainly market hours, but we do have traders that hop in at different hours. So at night and stuff, but I mean, it's usually they're in there trade when the market's really flying. When it's not flying, you want to join in, hop over to the trading pit. You usually see stuff going on there. I use HotCom for our rooms because we can share multiple charts by multiple traders in multiple locations at one time. Like literally, sometimes we'll have 6 different charts up. Say that 3 times fast. Let's see here. You need Ninja first. You don't need it first. We'll teach you how to set it up. It takes maybe 30 minutes to set it up and get your live data set up. So one of the courses in here, like actually the first course you go into, is going to tell you literally exactly how to set it up. Like you go in, it's going to be like, okay, install Ninja, get free CQG data, get free FXCM data or IQ feed, take your choice, and how to add instruments to your instrument manager and add the toolkit. So you want that toolkit active anyway first. So when you sign up and then go to this and in 30 minutes, if you have never had Ninja set up before, you'll have it done. The HotCom is free. Nope, it doesn't cost a thing. Chat, bottom right corner. Maybe just refresh your page there. Bottom right corner. The room is going to be right here. Access the elite trade room. If you ever have an issue, he said HotCom right there. If you have an issue accessing it, you can click on this and you can call Kathy up. She'll help you out. She is great. I don't have access to the room right now because I'm in a demo account. But if you have access to the room, you'll click on that. It'll let you in once you're signed up for the elite membership. Now it's going to say, how do I get access? So if I go over here and I log out, and then I log back in as me. Then it'll let you right in. If you enter the correct password. And then go to the elite trade room. On that link, and then right here you can have some information that's good for you to know. Has support numbers if you have any issue logging into the room. But you click right there, it'll say connect. Once you connected, then go back to the website because it'll refresh. And then when you log in, it'll look like so. You'll have everybody on the left, and there's all the chats from the day, and then you'll have multiple charts up from traders. So I don't know what's up right here right now, but Kevin has a chart up. I don't know if he's trading or he just left it on. Steven has the Russell up. So, but we'll have multiple traders in there doing it. The special offer is available. Thank you for saying that. It is available actually through Tuesday at midnight. So, but again, it's only $7. So you have you really have 31 days technically until you're charged either the $200 or the $13.50. Okay. We don't break the 1350 into monthly payments. That'd sort of be counterproductive to the 200 a month. But you can choose either one. I mean, choose 200 and make the money, and then tell us you want to upgrade. We'll work with you. We're not trying to just hose you or anything. But anyways, but hop in and we can upgrade to the 1800 a year. I mean, it's 1800 a year if you want to do annual after the promotion. If you wanted to get the 1350 promotion, you got to do that by Tuesday. Okay, so if you want to upgrade to 1800 a year after being on for a month, we can give you a $200 credit. Basically, if that makes sense. So it's normally you get 3 months free. With this, you get like 40% off. That is just to help you get going. And all these details also on the webpage here at apexinvesting.com/TradingPub. When you go there, we'll have this webinar uploaded here for you as well. Okay. But buy it now, click here, etc. But it also has, it gives out all the details. Question that usually comes up is, okay, so I get there and I want to cancel. Yeah, you need to cancel before the 30 days is up. Okay. I hope you don't, but if you decide to, and you'll need to do it inside the help desk. So under questions, help desk. Don't submit a ticket. Don't call us. Why? Because when you do this, what will happen is it will make a ticket for you, and it'll give you a ticket ID number. It'll give you a time. Okay. You'll have proof you got it. We'll know we got it. Everybody's covered, and we don't want to bill anybody who doesn't want to be billed. I mean, that's really what it is. And I want to make sure that doesn't happen because it went into our spam folder when you send us an email, or you send it to the wrong email, or you left a voicemail, but that person's on vacation, or whatever. I want to make sure we get it. And we have 5 people monitoring the support desk. We'll make sure that anything's taken care of. We don't want to bill you if you don't want to be billed. Okay. But hopefully you will some. If you need any tech support, you got chat or you got the help desk. Okay. And there's some helpful stuff in here. If you go to the forum, under the forum, you can go to the elite section under systems. So all trading systems are under system. And there's a whole, there's training courses, trade reviews. So there's all sorts of stuff right here that'll help you out. If you want help on the indicators specifically, you can go to the indicator. We have a video on every indicator. If you want it, you don't need that to get started. Okay. But also we have technical support. If you're having any issues here, like most common issues that people hear and have, and usually it's just, most of the time it's user error, but it tells you how to fix that user error. So you can go through and find that, or you can just ask for help. We'll be glad to help you. Do I get any cancellations? No, we actually do really well. What I can tell you is we can see what progress people have made. We don't get many cancellations from people who actually complete the course. People who don't complete the courses, they came in just to see if they could get spoon-fed in the room, and they're like, oh, I have to learn, I'm out. People who don't have any money to trade at all, like they got $50 to their name, $7 fee, and they don't have money to even go start live trading. So they obviously couldn't cover it. They never intended to cover it. That happens. It's not a big deal. I mean, we want to help everybody out we can. And hopefully eventually they'll get there. But and not that you have to be a millionaire. I mean, you can do a micro FX, you can do mini FX, you can do FX, you can do FX futures. I mean, you can do whatever size you want. You can adjust the tick sizes, the values of the ticks, to match your account. But I mean, we do get them, but it's usually people who don't have the money or don't have the desire to learn. Phone number, yes, is on the website. So you go over here to questions, and under the help desk, we used to have it right there. I wonder where they moved it. Sorry. It's pretty simple. It's Apex Win, APEXWIN. But we're about to launch a whole new website, so I know that's why things are moving around a little bit. But so yeah, there it is. Try on the Win Apex. I had that completely backwards, didn't I? So on the contact us page, that makes sense. Obviously, about us, contact us. There's the number. So 888-946-2739. So do FX futures give accurate volume? Yeah, it is the actual volume, and it's the big boys. It's the exchange-based volume, not this one broker's not even placing a trade. They're just filling your order themselves with another trader. And I mean, is it going through an exchange? Yeah, it works awesome. It is fantastic. There you go. Thank you. The currency pairs are available in Ninja. Yep.
Okay, folks. Well, we're going to be winding things down in just a couple more minutes. So if you have any last-minute questions of Darrell or of John, please post them now. Otherwise, we will be closing things down in just a couple of moments. So I want to make sure that all your questions are addressed. Please post them in the general chat.
All right. Is there anything left? I think we covered most of the questions. If I missed a question, I'm sorry. I'd be happy to answer it for you. Just hop over to our website and let me know, and I'll be glad to help you. Thank you for everybody for sticking around, and I look forward to seeing you in the trading room. Hopefully by Monday. Get set up, hop in, get all that going.
Well, that sounds super. And Darrell, once again, on